And welcome back to sail mode. We now have unlocked a new research tag and we can actually sail around the planet here, as we can see, on a very high speed now. It's consuming a lot of energy, I can see that, but who cares about that when you can have a feature like that? Amazing, gotta say that. I love the sail mode already. It makes it now very easy to get to the other side of the planet, right? Let's also refuel a bit again. As we can see, we can also now stay in space forever, or in the air, since we now have enough energy production in this case here, and this is it. So this is how we can now finally travel around here so much easier. We have a few more techs that are upcoming now that we need to focus on as well. So we have finished now this whole upgrading row for our mech. So our mech is now pretty strong there overall with energy. We can actually go for some of the next techs here. Some of them need the level 3 matrices, some of them don't. Like the mecha move speed here doesn't, and I actually would like to go with that right away to speed up our mech even more. The drone task is also possible, and all of that is not possible. One other thing that is happening here is, as we have unlocked more tech, is more tech appears all of a sudden, right? I haven't seen that before. There we have now cargo stacking, vertical construction, and as we can see, it's also going all the way up here to level 8. And yes, we can research all of that and build all of that. I am speechless of how much this game offers in this regard. Those need some level 3 matrices though as well. So that is not something we can do right now. This one is also not something we can do yet. This is pretty cool, by the way, so we can then view the vein reserves on other planetary systems within 6 light years if we want to go to beyond our star system in this regard. Now, with all of that here at the way, so plastic is also working now. One thing that we will be doing now is focusing on the motors. So we do need the motors for quite a few things. That one here, so the electric motor, and after that the electromagnetic turbine, right? The electric motor needs the iron bar, the gear, and the magnetic coil, and the this one here, the electromagnetic turbine, needs then the electric motor and just coils. So this is rather basic. This allows us then to fastly produce the conveyor belt level 2 and the sorter level 3. So that is our future basic output then of what we want to have. So let's just get over there where we want to build those factories. The motor factory I would like to have right here, because what we have here is we have the gear, we have the iron bars, and we have the coil close by. So then I can produce it here and move it over here to produce the turbines, right? Because we already have here the coil, and I just need to have, and we already have the splitter there. So this is the, I think, the safe method of doing it. Let's get cracking. Whoa! And the next research has been finished, so we are moving even faster now, and the movement speed is thus increasing. We going here now with the major belts in the center. So there's the coil wines, right? Going all the way over here, and then we have the gear coming out from this side to my iron ingots, and then coming together here then as well. There we have a problem though, right? As we can see, unfortunately here is an asymmetrical block that we can't go around so easily here, right? So that those are the inputs. The input belts, they can also go to that side then, and then we have the assemblers here, so we can have a lot more assemblers now on that side here too. The thing is, I don't know how many motors we're going to need. This is not good. Just see once again. There we have this one, and I also just need to check about the sorters. Alright, looking good, but the only thing is here that we need to consider in the future. For now, I'm going to leave it like that as a mark for myself, but in the future, if we want to build something in long rows like this, we can't go against the curvature. We can't go to the north or to the south. We use the west and east grids, right? Because the west and east grids here, they are even. The north and south grids are not, so they are changing the tiles, so they're overlapping. The reason for that is, of course, because the curvature of the planet. So that is very important to keep in mind in the future. If I want to have lines like this, always east-west or west-east, not north and south. For now it's fine. The only thing we have here now, the only thing that's missing here actually is a bit of power. So there we have our transmitters that we can use. The first one, And I think we can actually be happy here with 2 transmitters. And perhaps to make it complete up here, another one going for this area. And now we have the belt system. So the first one is this one. That is the gear, right? So the gear is coming in here. And the second one is the iron ingots. So for that we do need a splitter here. And the splitter output. Very good. There it's coming in. Here we still need the output from the storage. So actually we don't need the belt this long. There we have the gear storage, which is rather full anyway. And there we're going to have the belt now down here. I'm still keeping a bit of space here for a buffer for something that we might need. And there is the sorter. Now I'm going to use level 3 sorter for this one to really speed it up, as we can see. Those things are in. On the other side, we still need the coil input, which is coming from that storage facility there. There we have it. So our coil is also coming in now from this storage here. And this is actually pretty well made now. So actually we have thus also kind of like avoided a bigger spaghetti here, because we're using these storage depots there. And yeah, there we have the output belt. This one here, the inner belt. And that we can then merge with the other assemblies coming out here, right? Because this one we can still split once more. And the belts for the output are then merging here, because we're going to need the motors on that side over there then in the future. So this is where we have the motor belt then. Righto, what we still need is our sorters. My drones will do the rest. And the input sorters. And then we have also finally automized our motor production. And the input is still missing on that side. 2 times. 1 for the gear, 1 for the ingots. Right, and one last thing to turn it on. We need to choose the motor. The cool thing is now for the turbine, we only need those motors then and the coil that we already have there. So there is the coil belt and the motor belt already together that we can then use for the turbines. And the turbines we're going to need for quite some time and quite a lot of them. So we will be able to do that with those assemblies here. There is one, and there is the last one. And we'll just see if we have enough materials then for all of this to come out. And there we have them, the motors, in a little package, of course, that we can then transport quite easily along the belt there. And yup, as we can see, we have enough resources there. So, you know, it's still stacking up. So we could even have more assemblies on that side then too. And of course, we can still upgrade this one to higher belts as well. And there we can see there's all the iron ingots now coming into this direction. We might actually, to make it even better, use a level 3. What kind of sorter do we have here? Level 2 sorter. To use a level 3 sorter to make things even faster. Beautiful when it comes together. And there we have our motors. And now we just need the belt with the motors that we are going to use here. I think they're about the slope. Speaking of slopes, so we can have another belt and merging here, right? At the latest here. Because here we're going up now. Over the copper belt, and together with our coils, we're going into this direction over to that side. I don't think we can have a splitter. I don't think we can have a splitter up here, so this is a bit tricky, but we'll figure it out. And this is just coming together perfectly. So as we can see, the motors are coming here, and here we also split the coil wines once again that we're also using for the blue matrix here. And both of these belts then, with the coil and with the motors, are going then into this direction for our factory that we need for the turbines. Now for the turbines, I will need a few more things. First of all, a few more sorters actually would be fine. Let's build a few of them. A few normal belts that we're going to use because we're not going to have a high traffic on it. And on the other hand, the assemblies. There they are. I think, how many do we have of them for now? We have 4. Let's make a few more, right? Let's make 5, 6, 7. 6 should be fine, actually. Those 6, and then we can place them here. And once again, what we should be careful here is this time I actually want to use the east-west grid that we can use there, right? So that we have a total even line there. So the belts are going around then like in a serpent, right? They're going down here and up again. So then we can use the assemblies side by side. We need to get to the ground there too. Like this. And then we just continue now. And here we do use then the assemblies for the turbines. Now for the turbines, we have then the question, where do we want to get the turbines to? I have no idea yet. So once we have the output, we'll just put it in the storage and can use it then for faster level 3 belt and sorter production. As we can see, there is now the 2 belts coming in for this last production that I want to build now. So we have this one, and where do we have my assemblers? Let's use them along the grid now. Oh, actually we can have them in here too. I wonder if... I've already tried it once, so we can't have, you know, everything going into one assembly and it's just passing it on to the other one. I don't think that this is working in this game yet. So no idea about that. The output belt, we do need of course an output belt. It's going to be here. And this time we have no problem anymore with uneven belts or something like that. And out here, where we also have then the plastic soon and the turbines, we then have our storage for the turbines. So this is one of the outputs then, and let's just have it here for now. And there we're going to have a big storage container, right? And on this big storage container, for now, we have then the sorter 3, so that we can really store all the turbines that are coming in here. Let's also have a transmitter. We are rather close to our power network there anyway. Let's have the transmitters then, by the way, yep, coming up from here, beside going along the belt there, so that it looks, of course, more elegant. And there we have then the transmitter for this system here. Once again, let's also choose here what we want to create. So it's the electromagnetic turbine. I have now 4 assemblies. We'll just see how much we actually need for that. And then the input. Here, can this work? This can work, perfect. Coming in, and the output we have here. And there we have, finally, the turbines coming out from 4 assembly machines for now, and we'll just see how many we need, going then right into our storage level 2 facility, just on here, into that. Let's just make a second row here too. So there we have once again now the major belt coming in from the turbines, and we can use the same output belt, right? Because I don't think we have more than that. Oh, yeah, energy. This is getting a bit annoying. We do have the wireless power transfer, right? So we can build them soon. Then I just have to walk towards these towers there and reload or recharge my mech. Here, once again, we have the input 2 times. This one and this one, and the output on the other side just fine. Wait a second, does this one have now an output? This one should be having an output. Let's put the turbines on. Perfect. And our really advanced motors are now finally in mass production. There's still something wrong here. Those guys are not having... Oh, yeah. There is another power problem here now, I think. Let's have it here for now. We might need better transmitters at some point. and this is all flowing in there now. So that's a lot of these motors now that we can use for something else. And yeah, it is scalable. So we just have the main belt up here, going then all the way into that huge ocean, by the way, so that we have a huge ocean as well. Let's have a look at tech once again while we have all of that with our techies. What we need next. So next up, actually, we do need to go for the crystal smelting, right? We want to achieve now the tier 3 matrix. The tier 3 matrix we have, oh god, where do we actually have it? There is mini fusion power generation. This sounds interesting. We can have the fusion power station for 9 megawatt production. We do need only the deuterium fuel rod. We already have the basic materials there. This might be possible, but we have enough power for now. The structure matrix is the next one, the yellow one. And the yellow one needs diamonds and I think these high strength crystals, titanium crystals, right? For that, we do need the polymer chemical engineering first. With that, we can make the organic crystals. Let's activate this research there. Then this one goes to the titanium crystal. We can queue this one. Let's queue this one too in our automatic research. The other thing that we need is these diamonds here. Diamonds are rather easy to make. We only need graphite. We already have quite a lot of that. So it's just another smaller production chain where we have the diamonds. Let's also queue this one into our tech tree here. Let's see. We are still really only scratching the surface there. It's incredible, right? Look at all the tech that is coming. What is that? Mission completed. So up there we have it once we have the universe matrix. Oh boy, if we ever get there, I might be very happy. Processors, also another very important thing that is coming up soon. We have the basics for that. One thing that we still need and what we can prepare in the meantime is these semiconductor materials, right? So the microcrystalline component we need for the processors, that is still something we don't have. So let's just have a look where we might have it. This is all working now, fine. Let's get into the air and let's get to the other side of my base. Flying around there with a beautiful view. It was somewhere here. There we have the silicon. And I'm pretty sure we also have the glass here somewhere. There's the glass production. Very good. We also have an empty coal vein here still that we can also use. There is more iron ingots coming, as we can see, because we're using all of that. Do we have enough oil for all of what's to come? I hope so. And let's just see. What do we need for that? The semiconductor materials. There it is. We do need 2 glass. Oh, high purity silicon. Sorry, we do need silicon for that. In a smelting facility, we need to build that. In the smelter, is it this one? Just any normal smelter? Yes, very good. So we can actually make it in a normal smelter and it just needs silicon ore. Of that, we have quite enough over here, right, where we produce it. So we can just use this one now for all of the smelting process. Let's get cracking. One more production chain. What should it do to us, right? One more. I might actually run out of energy. We might need to jump back then all the way. In order to get to the oil, actually, let's go into the sail mode, right? Which I love so much because we're really fast over there. Ooh, boo, 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 boo. Yeah, and collapsed in the water. It's that fast. We can empty this storage now for good and get rid of it. And then we can empty this storage here as well for the oil, right? And I hope that soon we'll be having then some major new power source. And what I can see is that the hydrogen is actually full. I'm really glad to see that because the hydrogen is a very high power resource, right? So when we look at the refined oil, it produces 30% more fuel, and the hydrogen produces 100% more fuel. So let's actually just take a few of them. They're very useful for powering my mech suit. I'm eager to see actually if we use that. Let's use the hydrogen, so you should take it now. Very good, there it is. Do we consume when we travel? Yes, only slightly though, right? So not that much anymore. So with the hydrogen we can even stay, or we can travel even longer than before. For example, like now to the other side of this whole planet. And the polymer chemical engineering has also been finished, so we are now able to make organic crystals. The organic crystals we were only able to get at this point from chopping down trees, and with this here we have the ability of processing it from oil and plastic. Right, so if we have oil and plastic, we can then make it into organic crystals there. The next one is up and running is now the diamonds and the high quality crystals there that we need. And we can still continue now with this production here. Now the problem with this production chain is though that it needs copper ingots, and there's not a single copper vein up here on this planet, right? The next copper vein we have here, where we are producing the copper ingots already. So I will just take this storage facility there now and get a belt all the way to that side. I hope we still have enough level 2 belts. These guys there. Oh, by the way, let's get rid of that. We are producing turbines, right? Let's get into the air once again and sail all the way to our turbines. Whoa. There we are. That was close. There we have the turbines. Let's just see. We don't need so many resources now anymore. These magnets we don't need. That coil here I don't need. Those copper, I don't need all of that. What I need though is those turbines. Right, and then it's going to be much easier now to produce these ones here. Look at that, there's really nothing else. Beautiful. So now we can produce the level 2s there much faster than before. Let's go. Ah! Whoa, 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 whoa. We need to be careful here about the traveling. Oh boy, we can get actually really far out there on the planet. Now where was our facility? There we have the oil. This is amazing though, absolutely fantastic. Now I just need to find my spot again. Up there we have the copper vein. And I'm actually not even using that much fuel when we are up here. Let's slow down a bit because I think we're coming in close. What the hell? I guess I still need to train this one here a few times. Okay, we're having another turnaround now over the planet. It's beautiful anyway, so we can do this. There we are. Let's get down there. How can we go down, please? Thank you. Pooh. On point, right where we need to be. There we need to be. There we have our storage. And yep, I might just use these belts here then. And one thing that I've always wondered, we don't have a merger yet for our belts. I don't think there's a merger in this game at this point. Another interesting tag that I just found here is the veins utilization. So we can actually research that already. 6% ore consumption with the miners plus 10% mining speed. Let's also go with this here to upgrade our miners there a bit. And the sorters are stacking. We can then stack the sorters. That's cool. And one more layer for the storage and 2 layers for lab vertical construction. What does it mean? Lab vertical construction? Does it mean that I can have factories on top of each other? No idea. So many questions. So little time. I wanted to look for something else here. And the crystal smelting is in the queue. That should be fine. Nope, actually we are fine. We just need to get to the other side now. Oil-wise, I'm fine still. Let's use some hydrogen there. And let's build our belt. Yeah, I wanted to look the merger. We don't have a merger for the belts at this point, which is a bit of a problem to me. Now let's just use the level 2 belts here. I'm going to merge them here just like that, right? So we can just put them in there and then they're merged anyway. And this is the level 2 one. And let's just get all the way to the other side there with level 2 belts. Level 2 because we're going to need quite a lot of these ingots then. Come with me to the other side. There we are. And I will need a lot of energy first. And a lot of more belts. Lucky us, we can produce quite a few of them. So let's just do this in the background. What we can do here. We have now the smelter done. Just a question of how we want to set it up. We want to go now once again with the east-west separation, right? Just realized for the ingots we only need the silicon ore, and it's a good thing we have the belt here already, so why not just use this belt, right? Because here we have our system for the silicon anyway. Keep in mind that we have a very inefficient process of making these silicon ores at this point. We don't have silicon on the planet itself, so we do need to get to another planet to get more silicon in the future. For now we have to use with the process of getting stone and then silicon, so rather complex, or rather inefficient, I should say. High purity silicon. After the crude silicon is melted and recrystallized, it can obtain analytically pure silicon crystals. The photovoltaic materials and semiconductor components made can meet most of the needs that we need for quite a lot of things, especially the processing power then as well, that we need for our spaceships. Let's have these ingots now here. And another one, right? That should be fine for now. We can have several rows there, no problem. That is no problem at all. We still need, once again, our input. And gosh, please developers, give us lights at some point. We do need lamps and stuff like that. The input is working, and there we have the output for the high silicon ingots, or high quality silicon ingots. Righto. Thus, we are golden with the next production chain, and we can now go for the microprocessors. Stay tuned.